Okay, let's dive into this. Sometimes the biggest clues about a company's future plans, they aren't in some flashy press release. Nope, they're hidden in plain sight, in something as simple as a job posting.
So, what can one little recruitment notice really tell us about a company's huge, grand strategy? Well, it turns out a whole lot. We're going to take a look at a recent post from Tech Mahindra and treat it like a fascinating puzzle that, once we piece it all together, reveals a massive, massive strategic shift. So, here's our main clue: a hiring announcement for a vehicle development program. And let me tell you, this isn't just about filling a couple of empty desks. This is basically a signal flare, and it's pointing to something way, way bigger happening inside one of the world's major tech companies. All right, so to really get the full picture, we gotta set the stage first. We need to look at the two key players in this story: the company making the move, and, just as important, the location they've chosen for this whole new venture. So on one hand, you've got Tech Mahindra, a global powerhouse in technology, right? Software, IT services, the whole deal. And on the other hand, you have Pune, India, a city that's been the heartland for car manufacturing for a long, long time. So when a tech giant deliberately plants a major vehicle development program right in the middle of an auto hub, well, you know something big is up. It's a strategic convergence, and it's no accident.
So that's the where. Now let's get into the who, because by digging into the actual job posting itself, we can see exactly what kind of team they're putting together. And that tells us everything we need to know about their real ambitions. And here's the most crucial part. They aren't just looking for a few engineers here and there. Just look at the scale of this thing. They are building an entire senior leadership team from scratch. This isn't about just filling a few roles. This is the birth of a brand new, high-level division.
And just look at this lineup. I mean, we are talking about the very top of the food chain here: a chief engineer, a program manager, a technical project manager, and get this, a delivery head specifically for EV components. These aren't just managers. These are the people who are going to design and build the entire program from the ground up.
25. Let that number just sink in for a second. They want a chief engineer with up to a quarter century of experience. This is not a job for someone who's learning as they go. This is for a seasoned veteran who has, without a doubt, built cars before.
And it doesn't stop there. The other key leadership roles, they require up to 2 decades of experience. Demanding this level of expertise is a massive statement. It tells you everything about the quality and the seriousness of this project. Okay, so we know they're hiring a whole team of seasoned leaders, but what exactly are they going to be doing? If we look even closer at the specific technical skills they're after, the blueprint for their future car becomes crystal clear. And listen to this list. This isn't about software or infotainment systems, which, is what you might expect from a tech company. No, they're hiring heads for body and white, closures, exteriors, chassis, vehicle testing. This is the A to Z of the physical car. We're talking about the metal, the frame, the core structure, and of course, a dedicated focus on EV components. Now, for anyone who might not be a total gearhead, body in white, or BIW, is basically the bare-bones metal shell of the car. So hiring senior leadership in this area means they are absolutely serious about building a vehicle from scratch. This is not about just putting tech into somebody else's car. This is about building the car itself. But out of everything in this job description, this one little line, kind of tucked away, this might be the biggest clue of all. Candidates are preferred from the passenger car segment. So what does that mean? Simple. It tells us exactly who their target market is. They are not building big commercial trucks or tractors or any kind of industrial vehicle. Their ambition is aimed squarely at the consumer market, the kinds of cars that you and I drive every single day. All right, let's put all the puzzle pieces together. We've got the who, the what, the where. What does this recruitment drive really signal about Tech Mahindra's grand strategy? When you lay it all out, a super clear 3-part plan emerges. First, the strategic intent. They're making a huge leap from just being a service provider to becoming a full-on vehicle developer. Second, their ambition is sky high. You just don't hire a leadership team with this much experience unless you are aiming for top-tier quality. And third, their focus is laser sharp, the consumer passenger car market with a really strong EV angle. So this all leaves us with one last, really fascinating question. As these two gigantic industries, tech and automotive, keep colliding and merging together, what is the car company of the future even going to look like?
Well, it might just look a lot like what Tech Mahindra is building right now in Pune.